Welcome to DNA's Birding Adventures. We're off to Rocky Mountain National Park after being below sea level up to 12,000 feet. We got an early start and headed up to Rocky Mountain National Park. It's just about an hour from our house in search of the ptarmigan. We're always in search of the ptarmigan. We haven't seen it for like 8 to 10 years. We started at the Mushroom Rocks, which is also called the Tundra Community Trail, and did a little half-mile hike there. Saw the most beautiful clouds coming over up from the valley. And then we went over to Lava Cliffs, which you can see from there, and looking for the falcons, and then off to Medicine Bow Curve. That's where we usually see all sorts of critters and possibly the ptarmigan. It's been spotted there before. From there, we headed back down to Upper Beaver Meadows and found another yearbird, which I'll tell you about. In the end, we found 27 different bird species, including 2 for this year. No life birds or the Canada jay, it's still elusive. That brings our yearly total to 284 birds. Here we go. Our first stop is the Tundra Communities Trail. You can see why they call it communities. It's because of all the different ecosystems. These are the rock formations that used to be at the sea level, called mushroom rocks. They have schist and granite that were pushed up. One micro ecosystem were the lichens. They have like a mild acidity eating away at the rocks. Also, being early summer, there's just a carpet of flowers everywhere, and there's still snow on the mountains. You start the 200-foot hike at about 12,000 feet, and you can actually see the visitor center right on the Continental Divide. With all the snow melted, the animals were quite busy getting ready already for the winter and or feeding their young. This trail we saw about a gazillion American pipits and this horned lark. We didn't get a picture of the pipits though. We did at the other spot. In the alpine tundra, it takes forever for anything to grow, so the carpet of flowers were all like 1 to 2 inches high and beautiful. It's like a thick carpet of flowers and moss all along this trail. High tundra, alpine tundra. Yellow. What's it like? When we reached the end of the trail, we were both in awe. We just couldn't believe the view of the clouds coming up over the valley. bull elk are all growing in their antlers. They look pretty majestic and gorgeous. Okay, next stop, Lava Cliffs. We're always looking for the prairie falcon. It's supposed to be the highest elevation of breeding falcons. We did not see those. We did see the cliff swallows and the white-throated swifts, as well as these guys. They were right next to the road. Our next stop is up and over the Continental Divide, past the Visitor Center and down the other side a little ways to Medicine Bow Curve. We love this trail. We found white-crowned sparrows, horned larks, American pipits, and at the very end of the trail, off the trail a little ways, we saw our target bird. Here's the pipits. Pipits flying around. Dave noticed that this ptarmigan was banded, and apparently CSU University has been doing some studies on it. There was a huge decline in the 90s with the ptarmigan. That's real sad. The last time we saw a ptarmigan family was up at Flat Mountain in Rocky Mountain National Park about the same time of year. It was sure nice to see one though. As we headed back, we looked down into the valley. It's a couple thousand feet down. And last time we did a video, there were moose along the river. This time there was a big family of elk. The female elk were raising their young. There were like hundreds of them. This is Beaver Meadows. See if we can find some orchids. These birds were right along the road. Unfortunately, the parking lot was packed where we were going to go hiking, but fortunately we found another spot to hike and found a new first of the year bird and flowers, including this first of the year Indian paintbrush. So pretty. There was just a little picnic area we stopped at and found this dead tree with like 6 or 7 different birds nesting.
Are you still there?
Yeah.
No, tree swallows.
Tree swallows?
Babies.
Oh.
Or they're both.
That tree has so many different birds nesting in there. There's a mountain bluebird at the top, house wren on the right hand side, and then a pygmy nuthatch down below, and tree swallows on the back side. Violet green swallows. We spent about an hour watching all the activity at this big apartment building of birds. And then we just started exploring around the fence where they were protecting all the aspen trees. Saw this northern flicker, all sorts of flowers, and other birds. Dave and I have been on the search for orchids, and we thought this was one. Nope, it's sheep sorrel. A couple weeks ago, we did find the fairy slippers. Those were beautiful. We need some more, though. We saw this once before at Pinewood Reservoir. These blister beetles love the lupine. Beaver Meadows. There's butterflies and flowers everywhere. It's inside of a fence. There are like aspen trees trying to rehab. Just saw a whole bunch of listening snipes. I think they're nesting right there in that marsh. There's a Lincoln sparrow inside there. And we just heard another woodpecker. We just saw the Williamson sapsucker and wood pewee. There's some gray-headed juncos over there. Those are those knights, I think, calling. This American robin was drawing us away from her nest, and I've never seen this before. Carol, do you ever do this? She acted like she was sick or hurt. You can see how the tops of the ponderosa pine are still green, lots of birds in them, and then the bottoms are all burned from the fire that we had a few years ago. That's what's supposed to happen. All the bottom branches are burned, but the top survive. This cute little Lincoln sparrow was singing away and didn't mind that we were there. Got some great shots. We had a great day exploring Rocky Mountain National Park and finding a couple different birds that we haven't seen yet this year. And of course, we have to end the day at La Casina de Mama. And of course, we sat outside this time because it's the middle of summer. Until next time, thank you so much for watching and happy trails to you.